Welcome to AHRK Encounter. I'm your host, Melanie, and I'm so excited to walk on this AHRK path with you today. We will continue our discussion on the stewardship of wealth, time, and energy. I'm eager to see how these resources will inspire others to seek value and purpose. Our guide, Casey Cox, will take us through the AHRK path lens of community, where we will encounter a key VIP. Now let's get you started on the AHRK path journey with this video about the AHRK lenses.
AHRK is the lifestyle path to better choices. It empowers us to live life to the fullest and paves the way for people like you and me to discover our unique purpose and passion. Choosing to walk the AHRK path invites transformation and growth in 5 key areas of life: leadership, communication, mindset, community, and lifestyle. As we dive into these lenses, they redirect our focus and guide us into a deeper understanding of where we're at today and where we're going tomorrow. This is AHRK Encounter.
What a great opportunity it is to be reminded that we can look through the lenses of the AHRK Encounter and become the best version of ourselves. Today we encounter community, and we recognize that it's not just about us. There's a lot of people around us. But sometimes, even though we're surrounded by a lot of people, we still feel isolated and lonely. And on the AHRK path, we recognize that we can show up, we can connect, and we can become that best version of ourselves, and that's really what community is asking of us. Today, we look through the lens of stewardship. And stewardship is this process of recognizing that that which has been put in my hands is there for a purpose. It's for me to multiply it, to grow it, to be able to impact my community around me for good. And so it's a beautiful combination of watching community and stewardship come together. And this is why today I've invited a very special guest. My guest is Alta Skinner. Alta, welcome to the AHRK Encounter.
Thank you, Casey, for having me here today. This is really exciting.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. Well, every guest that we bring on to the AHRK Encounter, we like to look at them as being truly unshakable, undeniable, and really unarguable in what they have to say. And Alta, you are a true champion of community and a model of stewardship. And you embody these things through your VIP. Has anybody ever told you you're a VIP, Alta?
No.
Well, I absolutely adore you. And I do happen to know that you're a VIP. And in my world, VIP means values, identity, and purpose. And on the AHRK Encounter, that's what we're going to invite people to discover is your VIP, but also we want you to find your VIP. As you're watching today, take some notes. What are your values? How do you show up as an identity that is trusted and tried? And what is your purpose? So let's take it back to Alta now. Alta, share with me. What are your values?
My values and my passion is family, community, and education. I thoroughly believe people will say, well, why do you put community before education? I put community before education because we need to get all of the community to embrace education and so that they realize how important education is in our community.
And Alta, you embody that on a daily basis. Everything you do is about education, family, youth, and community. And so as your values are really, they're just deeply embedded in you as a bedrock it's solid. It allows you to reach out and get involved in so many things in our community that demonstrate your identity. What are some of the ways that let me ask it this way. Okay. How many hats do you wear and how many name badges do you have? Because that's kind of getting at that identity question.
Okay. Currently, I am president of the Laverne St. Amos Education Foundation. I am secretary of the Mount SAC Foundation, and I am on the board for McKinley's. And there again, they all embrace my passion. Their community, their family, and they're about education. And your education, when you look at McKinley and Mount SAC, who we educate there is different than who we educate in Benina Unified. But all of that education is so important, and it takes a community to make that happen.
And you might be going, I don't understand what McKinley's, Mount SAC, and Benita Unified and the Education Foundation are. They really are. They're nonprofit boards that are making a difference in our community, and Alta holds key positions in them all. Alta's here today to talk about community. And Alta, how would you describe your continued presence? I call that purpose. It's like you have a gift to give away. And what is that gift that you keep giving away over and over and over again?
I think my gift is volunteerism, and I think my purpose with volunteerism is to get out in the community, in every aspect of our community, and secure other people and get them excited about being a volunteer. I guess you might say it's mentoring, but whatever it is, for me, for over 45 years, it has worked. So
you've been volunteering for over 45 years.
Yes.
Are you a master volunteer?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I've never used that term before, but I'm going to start coining it now. Alta, the master volunteer. But I love what you said. You said you're mentoring others to become volunteers.
Right. You know, I always tell people, if you belong to an organization, so many organizations in all of our communities have aged out because we have not reached out to the young people of the community and got them involved with whatever we're working on. So I tell people I like to euthanize the committees and boards I work on, and I spell my euthanize with a Y. So don't get panicked or afraid if I walk up to you and tell you and suggest to you that you jump on board on one of the committees or boards that I sit on.
And so today also we're talking about stewardship through a lens of community. And so as we look at stewardship, we recognize that the resources of our community are here, but sometimes they're hidden. And if we don't know how to shake the right bush, open the right door, and bring things out, we're going to miss out. And so we're going to walk through an AHRK encounter now about community through a lens of stewardship through a lens of community, and understand that you've got some insight. So let me invite you into an acknowledgement experience. And when we acknowledge, what we're really doing is we're taking an account of what is and what isn't. We recognize that as we acknowledge, there's some things that we just don't see. Sometimes we miss the opportunities. There's a volunteer around every corner, but we have to learn how to ask them correctly. And we also recognize as we acknowledge, there's better uses of our time, our energy, and our wealth. And sometimes we need help having somebody else guide me where to spend my time, energy, and wealth.
Absolutely.
So, Alta, tell me about the state of volunteerism. What's going on in our community, and how is stewardship being affected?
Well, I think in the community of San Dimas, we have Parks and Recreation Commission, we have a senior commission, we have Rotary, and we have Historical Society, and we have the foundation, and we have all of these organizations that are reaching out to people and saying, we need your hand, we need help, help us please. And it's important that we all step up. Number one, kids in our community need to know we care. And it's not that you're going to run out there with a scribbled on your shirt, I care about you. It's not that. It's about your actions. It's about what you do for education. It's about what you do for community that lets the people know we are a community of givers and we care about all of you. And we're so happy that you have come into our community and stayed, and we're hoping that you all reach out. There's a niche for you someplace in our community that you can give of your time and your heart, and let us help you with your passion.
And Alta, I really love how you invited every one of us, me included, but you at home, maybe you don't live in San Dimas and you're going, well, so that doesn't include me. Well, the reality is no matter where you're at, there's a place to be connected. You can, and Alta didn't mention the Chamber of Commerce, but she's been an active member of that as well. Go down to your local Chamber of Commerce and say, hey, where are their nonprofits? Where's their community happening? What's your next event? You can get involved. And that's really what acknowledgement is about bringing your awareness up to look in and go, I didn't even know that there were all of these opportunities. And how can you get involved with your time, your energy, or your wealth if you don't know what your options are? And yet, as we acknowledge, we have to make other choices. And Alta, this is what brings us to what we call healing. Not all places are good places to spend your time, your energy, and your wealth. There are some places that we go, I don't think I'm going to get involved in that. Alta, how have you learned in the journey of community how to gauge that? What do you look for? What help us know? I don't know.
I think what I get involved with is people and communities and groups and boards and committees that have the same passion I do.
So values are really important.
They are community values, family values.
It really comes back down to that. Do you know what your values are? And what Alta's sharing is that If you don't know your values, you might get caught up in something that's not working for you. And to engage the healing aspect of the ARC encounter, you need to know what is important.
Yeah.
And so, Alta, as you encounter somebody and you go, hey, give me your money. You ever said that to somebody?
Well, yeah.
You do it all the time.
You
'Cause
have to.
You actually help other people steward their resources.
Right.
Hey, you'll show them where they can volunteer. You'll show them where they can invest their money or their energy.
Right.
How do you guide them between, you've got all these options. How do you help guide them to know which area to give back to?
I think a lot of it has to do with where they live, what they do, what their passions are. Do they have kids still in Bonita Unified? Do they maybe they live out of the area, and Mount Sac covers a huge area. We are in 5 counties for McKinley, so you can go out to Sperry, Victorville. You can go to a lot of those places to ask for money for those other organizations. But as far as what we do for education and community in San Dimas, we're kind of right here. We can't go over to Diamond Bar and ask them to support our foundation because they've got their own foundation to support. But the other thing I wanted to tell folks is I have been volunteering for over 45 years. I cannot even fathom the number of friends and acquaintances and friendships that my husband Jim and I have made. Just to let you know, it's the social you get out of it too. It's not something you're looking for, but let me tell you, those friendships are just amazing. Tonight, I will be going to dinner with some friends that we have been involved with for 45 years. We've been going to dinner on the 3rd Wednesday of the month for 25 years.
That's impressive. So what Alta is unpacking for us is that the return on investment when it comes to community might be different than if you were investing in somewhere else. So as we encounter stewardship, we have to look through a unique lens and go, as I invest my time, my energy, and my wealth in the community, it might pay me back different than I thought. And Alta, you've just shared your social network, your social experience has been such a valuable part of your life. And this is where we move into restoration and we go, what makes you whole? What builds you up and makes you strong and confident? And it is your name of who you are and the relationships you've built. If there was something that you were going to mentor somebody, how would you mentor them to follow your path?
I think I would let them know that we have to be trustworthy. We have to gain the respect of the folks that we're trying to work with. We have to be honest, and we just have to reach out and never be afraid to do the ask. You know, if you think that somebody can afford to do something, the worst they can say is no, but if you graciously ask them, it'll be a very nice encounter. But I just think it's important that those of us that have decades of volunteering, we need to hold on and mentor and grasp and embrace those younger people so that when we move on, retire, or pass on, we have people holding on to those organizations that are so important for who we are in our communities. And it doesn't matter what community you live in, all of those activities, people, committees are important to your lifestyle in your community.
So Alta brought up an amazing point, and I'm gonna reinterpret it for you because you might not have caught it the way I heard it. So here's it comes. It's not about you. And stewardship isn't about you. Stewardship is about maximizing a resource for the good of others, the good of the owner, the good of the community, and the good of you to pay it back and make a difference. That's really at the heart of stewardship and celebration and bringing it together, which is where we have a kingdom encounter and we have a party. We have a place of victory. Alta, can you give me, have you been the Citizen of the Year, Alta?
Yes, I have. 1999.
1999, our city said that you are the Citizen of the Year. And I think they threw a party, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
And can you see the joy on Alta's face as I talk about that party? I wasn't there. I wasn't even around the city at that point. No. But you said 1989.
1999.
1999. In 1999, the joy of that party is still living in Alta.
Right.
And go ahead, Alta.
Well,
Tell
I
me
was
something
just going to say, sometimes you see that somebody will get recognized for what they've given back to the community, be it education or organization or whatever. But the true value of a volunteer in your community is not the person that hangs up their name badge when they have they have received an accolade or they have been recognized by some group or a senator or whomever, the Chamber of Commerce or Times Magazine or whoever, because then it shows you really weren't out there
for the
giving
good of the
back for the
community.
good of the communities. And so my thing is telling people, please, if you want to volunteer and make a difference in the life of your community. Don't go out and volunteer because you're looking to make a name for yourself or you want pats on the back. That's not the right reason to get involved. So please just get out there, make a phone call the chamber and ask them what's going on in San Dimas that you could maybe get involved with. Call Casey.
This is Stewardship 101 on a lens of community from Alta Skinner, and you heard it here. We can make a difference. Let's do it together, and let's not ever stop. And now let's hear from Melanie about what she has to say about how you and I can continue to have ARC encounters over and over again and make this world a better place.
That was amazing to hear. Personally, I have benefited from Alta's work indirectly with Mount SAC. I was actually a student at Mount SAC for 2 years. I was able to transfer out and gain those educational resources to where I ended up at a private university and just graduated from Chapman. So it's amazing to hear the work that she's doing with the community and how it can impact us. And if you liked what you heard today, please check out our website at www.arcpath.com. Follow us on social media at ARCPath, and we have a podcast featuring Bernard Bashura and Casey Cox. You can check out our app, Circles Now, for more courses and resources. Thank you for tuning in to ARC Encounter, and we'll see you tomorrow.